Hey guys, welcome back to the latest episode of Absolute Modics. This one we're installing the laser lights. I know a few of you have seen them on Facebook and are very interested in how they're fitted. So this episode is quite a simple fitting of the laser lights.
Okay, first off we need to remove the center roof console part. So we're going to remove all the little some glasses, cases, and the lights, and obviously there's two screws that hold it in. I'm going to pop it out because to connect our laser lights we need to take the feed from these lights up here. So we're going to remove that first.
This is the light unit out the roof that you've just seen us take out. What we've got here are four colour cables. You've got black, red, yellow and white. What we're going to need is we're going to need the red one for live, and we're going to need the white one because the white one is a switched earth. So that means once we take the cables off there and connect them up to the laser lights, when you open and close your doors, that activates the switch which activates the power to the laser lights, so they only come on when you open and close your doors.
So we're going to cut the two cables so we can attach an extra positive and a negative onto them. Obviously the negative goes onto the switched earth, but that will be the negative for the lights. Obviously the positive is the positive, which gives the lights the power. So we need to add some extra cable into these, so the feed will then go obviously out the roof, down the side of the car to the footwells where we're going to connect the lights up. So we're just going to connect the cables on, we're going to solder them up so they're nice and secure, put a bit of insulation tape around them, and then there's been no problems up here at all. Better than Scotch locks and stuff like that, because if you use them it might start not working correctly, because Scotch locks are not very good holding connections.
That's one of the cables soldered. Now just to do the other one. What we've got now is we've attached the red connector back to the red again, but we've also got this extra cable coming off, which is the positive. We've done exactly the same with the negative. Like the white's connected to the white, and we've soldered them together. But we're soldering iron, so it's not going to come apart. It's better than Scotch locks, but if you can't solder, obviously Scotch locks better than nothing. And obviously that's the earth cable. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and fit this back in the car, and then we're going to run the cables down to the bottom of the dashboard, and then see where the laser lights line up. Chubba's just reconnecting all the cables now. Now this one here sends the power signal to our rear light, because we have a rear light in this Astra. He's just connected the main cable, which also houses the connections for the alarm and also the normal light. That's what's come on at the moment because we have the doors open. So once we've refitted them, we can put the plastic frame back into the roof, screw it back in, and run the cable down the side of the car. Job done. So we've now pulled the cable through. We just tucked it through for the time being, as you can see, just dangling there. So the cage is now going back into the roof. Don't forget that the reason why we've had to connect ours into that light is because our car is CAN bus. And for those of you that don't know what CAN bus is, it's a very clever way of saving weight in the vehicle by having special cables, special ribbon cables that go around the car. But it also makes it really awkward to attach extra wires like what we've done for this. So we've had to go onto the interior light so we can splice off their normal cables. So you might be able to just find a nice live anywhere else in your car, but the effects we're going to have with this interior light is when we open the doors, the logo lights will fade in and fade out, so they'll look really nice.
Okay, now it's time to actually fit the laser lights. So what we're going to do is remove the door card. There are a few screws scattered around there, hidden behind little bits of trim like the door handle and that, and the screws at the bottom. Once they're out, you'll be able to pull it up from the bottom. If you drop down the window, you'll be able to slide the card straight off the top, and then all you've got to do is disconnect any cables that hold it on, and also the handle, the cable which goes to the door handle. Once that's out, the dock card will be free, and then we can work on it putting our lights in. Okay, now it's time to use the drill bit supplied by the kit to drill into our door card, giving us a nice big hole to drop the laser light through.
Oh. Oh. Back it up. Get some speed. Yeah. Sweet. Just deburr it a little bit. Get out any crap. Anything that's not going to make it sit flush.
All you've got to do now is pop the cable through the hole, feed the laser light in place, put the retaining nut behind, tighten it up, and it will sit there nice and flush. You can adjust the way the light is angled at the end, and I'll show you that in the video.
It's nice and tight.
We're just pulling up the cover on the door so we can then thread the cable through.
And there you can see the wiper motion, the glass. Right, what we plan to do is we're going to have the laser light cable go through this hole, and then it's going to come up, out that hole there, across the gap, into the car and connect up with the rest of the loom. So what we're going to do is we're going to thread some wire through that hole, down into there, so we can grab hold of the cable and pull it through. We've pulled the cable through now. We've connected everything back on the door card, the switches for the light on the handle, the switches, the cable for the windows. We've positioned the door card back on here with the window down to make it easy. We've still got this corner piece to put on where your speaker goes, also got the speaker cable there. And it's just put the screws in the bottom of the card, and all you've got to do is repeat for the other side, and then your door card's back on. How we're going to run the cable up is obviously we're going to run it straight out the door card here. We're going to secure it on the top of the block there, take it down the bottom of the block and tie wrap it onto the rubber, and then we're going to bring it back under the hinge behind this rubber, and it's being tucked straight down there. It'll be nice and tidy when obviously it's all tie wrapped and done, but you can't get through that block because it's all watertight and secure, and you'd probably have to take your door off if you wanted to drill straight through to place a hole. So it's a lot easier doing it this way, and it's only a couple of tie wraps, so you're not really going to see it, so it'll look nice and neat when we're done. There you go, it's all tie wrapped and safe out of the way, it's not going to catch anywhere, and there's also enough slack where it needs to be so it can move with the door, so it's not going to wear out. So now we just need to attach the other side and then attach the cables inside the car. The cable tied the cable out of the way, as you can see, it cuts across just like it does on the passenger side and disappears into the car. And all I'm doing now is I'm tucking the cable up above and out of the way of the pedals. I'm feeding it through into the passenger side because that's where I'm going to attach all the cables together. So the cable is just there at the moment, standing there like a snake, and there's the cables there that we're going to attach it onto.
To connect the cables up, just attach the positive to the positive side and obviously the negative to the switch earth, which obviously will be the negative on the cables that you've done. Once they're connected, go ahead and tape them up or whatever, or solder them however you'd like. Put them out of the way so you can't catch them with your feet, tuck them up and good, and then it's time to have a look.
Right then, it's a little bit on the weird ground because it's wet and drying, so you can't see it as that good, but as you can see, there is our light in the day. If you ever want to twist it, because it's moved as you put it in the door, there's actually two flat surfaces on the light. You can just grab on there with some pliers and spin it round so you can get the light exactly where you want it. So that's one side done. Oh, lost a bit of focus there, and there's the other side. Ta-da! This is the laser light projection onto the floor at night time from underneath the door card. As you can see, it's very bright on the floor, all over. This is actually shining on my driveway, and if we just look up, you'll just see a very bright light on the camera, but that is the light on the floor.
And that is your laser light fitted and working. It looks spot on at night. So I hope you find this video good. Buy them from brightlightleds.co.uk.